Now, we also spoke exclusively to Anil Swaroop, who is the former Secretary Education and Coal, and got his views about the ongoing energy crisis and whether, in fact, it will ease out in the near term.
Absolutely. Now that you talk of reason, the immediate reason for apparent coal shortage is the unseasonal rain, the increase in demand as a consequence of post-COVID recovery of the economy, and international increase of prices. This is the immediate. But you have to look at why you can't do much about the demand side management of coal because it is determined by factors beyond the control of Coal India or Coal Ministry. You have to look at reasons that are within their control. The problem that we face today is on account of stagnating coal production by Coal India, which has stagnated to around 600 million tons for the past 3 years. That's the problem. Why didn't coal production grow at the rate as it was growing between 2014 and 16 when there was record production and we had sorted out all the coal problem? The reason was very simple. Number one, in 2017 when the tenure of the CMD of Coal India was over, new CMD or regular CMD was not appointed. For 1 full year, there was no CMD. So all the momentum that was built between 2014 and 16 was totally lost. Even today, I don't know whether you're aware that some of the subsidiaries do not have CMDs. BCCL, Bharat Coking Coal Limited, does not have a CMD. There is a common CMD for the Northern Coal Limited and Mahanadi Coalfield Limited. If you don't have top personnel sitting there, how do you expect increase in coal production? The second point is, Coal India had reserves of around 35,000 crores in 2015-16. These reserves should have been utilized for expansion of existing mines and opening of new mines. I don't think money was used for that purpose. Most of this money was taken out by the government as dividend. Third, the coal mine managers who are supposed to do coal mining and plan for coal mining, in 2016 and 17, they were digging shitholes for the Swachh Bharat mission. It's a joke, but it's a fact. A large number of mine managers were doing that. Fourth, Coal India was pushed into investing in fertilizer plants. Now, these combination of factors have led to stagnation of production of coal. Of course, there are other factors also. Non-Coal India production also did not pick up because the facilitating mechanism that was created in 2015 of a coal project monitoring group to enable faster clearance of environment, faster acquisition of land, that was, I don't know, it has become defunct. It's not working. So government will have to play a role of a facilitator. Let me tell you that between 2014 and 16, when coal production shot up to record levels, not a single meeting was convened at the central level. All meetings were held in the states. Now, as ironically, all the coal exists in such states which are ruled by opposition parties. Unfortunately, states and center at war with. Until you sit and discuss with them, until you convey a value proposition, the central government officers will have to go down to the states, sit with the state governments, find solutions to the problems, and then it can happen. We missed it out between 2017 and 2020. Had we worked on these areas, I think we wouldn't have faced this problem. As I said in the beginning, demand is not in our control. Demand will depend on COVID, post-COVID, and other things. But supply is in our control. I don't think we managed it in a manner that we should, and that is why we have a coal shortage today. I don't have the data of the stocking of state governments. If they haven't stocked, they should have stocked. But when you are faced with a crisis, you don't indulge in Pitu Mehmet. You know, in 2014, we were faced with exactly the same sort of a problem. But we didn't indulge in Pitu Mehmet. We didn't fight with states. We sat down with them. It's a common problem for the country. If power is not made available to citizens on account of shortage of coal, it's not the problem of the state government or the central government, it's the problem of the country. I think the whole attitude has to change. This whole attitude of blaming each other will not bring us to solutions to the problem. The problem can be solved. There is a historical precedence not very long ago. In 2014, the problem was actually solved. And we were in a position to even export coal to Bangladesh after having witnessed a situation where more than 30 power plants were supercritical. In 2016, not a single power plant was critical. How did this happen? I think the government should study what led to that. And one of the major factors was working in cooperation with the state governments. No tutu mema. Sit down with them. Let the central teams travel. In fact, when I say central team, I used to travel as Secretary Government of India to each of the states once in 2 months and sit down with them, because going down to the states meant that I could interact with a large number of officers. In fact, on video conference, we used to have district collectors who were in charge of actually land acquisition. So we had very intensive discussions through the day, taking each issue, not treating as a problem of center of the state. It is a problem of the nation. I think my assumption is, and I don't know whether I'm right, there is a bit of a problem with regard to supply of coal in the sense that the production has not met the desired levels. If that be the case, let us sit down with cool head, sit with the state governments, work out a strategy, not as adversaries. You know, the biggest problem that I face in coal today is, if you look at West Bengal, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, all are ruled by opposition-ruled states. No, you can't keep fighting with them because I keep saying jokingly that center is a fiction. The real action lies in states. You have to sit with them. You have to discuss with them. If you have to fight in a room. Don't give statements in media. You know, what we are seeing today, as you rightly said, it is too many going on. Does it help? I don't think that will help. The short-term solution is that analyze the shortages very clearly, because I'm sure there will be number of pitheads both in the private domain and public domain where there could be surplus coal available, which can then be diverted to areas where there is a shortage of coal. Private entities will be sitting on coal. They can't sell because they are not allowed commercial mining. So this permission could be given to them not to sell coal, but send coal to shortage areas, which can later on be replenished by Coal India. Second, with railways, work out the rake movement, because much of the problem, as you said, could be on account of coal availability at a particular place and not availability where it is required in thermal plants. There could be short-term solution, but long-term solution is increasing mining area, getting new mines going, getting investment there. And the central government will have to play the role of a facilitator, and I'm repeating it, facilitator, and not a monitor or a big boss. You know, that's where the problem begins. If you sit as partners with the state government, as we did in 2014, it worked. And third, enabling the blocks that have been auctioned recently, trying to fast-track the clearance through setting up of a coal project monitoring group, that will help.